Welcome to the MARP, Mr. Ackerman Rant Podcast 3000, and this is episode 12. Thank you for listening to our show. We are available at christianackerman.com, youtube.com/Fastcoast Productions, also christianackerman.com, and also fastcoastproductions.com, fastcoastfilmacademy.com, all the .coms. Head there. And did I say we're on Apple Podcasts? We're on Podbean. We're on Instagram. Find us, subscribe, hit the bell notification, follow, all those things, just so you can listen to our next and latest, greatest podcast. The last podcast I did it solo in my studio here, and we're here in our studio and at Fast Coast Productions in Southern California, making things happen, moving and a grooving. And tonight I have Danielle, or whenever you're watching this show, because the show does play every Monday at 6 a.m. on our YouTube channel. It premieres. You can go early bird, get the worm, and go to the Apple Podcast, and you might get the show earlier. Right now, there's no subscription needed at the moment, so go check it out. It's free. You can get this episode, the episodes before they come out on YouTube. Go head over there. Podbean, they kind of come as they go. It's a whole little thing. We're still working out all the kinks and all that good stuff, but the show is going. The boat is flowing. The train is moving on the tracks, and we're moving. So tonight, we're going to be talking about random stuff like we normally do, and then we kind of bring it together and bring it into something that we can share and talk, because we never know where this podcast is going to go and what it's going to do and be about. I have some ideas, some things, technical things I'm going to be talking about tonight, and then also maybe we'll see where that goes. And that's how the show has been going, and it seems to be doing pretty well. I mean, we could get better viewership, but our views are doing very well, which is, it'll be like down to nothing and all of a sudden something. And I'm happy with something. So thank you for those people who have been watching our podcast, have been listening to us, joining in. Go ahead and comment on the comment section and ask us questions too. You can do that as well, especially if it's not live, because we can use that on the next show. When this podcast is coming out, we do a lot of things. So Danielle, tell them about your digital marketing thing, and I'll put the link to the main link in our description in the main description, even on Apple Podcasts, wherever there's a description, there will be a link. If it's on Instagram, there's a link that will go to the main links you'll find your way, and you'll find the link in the bio, like you say. So you'll just click links and you'll find where this is, especially if you go to christianackerman.com, click on this episode, you'll find those links. Go ahead.
Yes. Okay, yeah. So about 2 months ago, I started building a digital marketing business. I just decided I need to do something. My entrepreneur spirit was wanting to do something creative and something to help other people. And so in Montana, I did hair, I owned a salon, and I also sold real estate. And licenses don't transfer when you go into a different state like California. California wants you to do everything here so they can get their dollars. And I didn't want to do that currently. So I was like, what else can I do? I spent a year just hanging at home with the kids and homeschooling, which I'm still doing. But I decided I was going to do something creative for myself alongside with him. He's a digital computer techie kind of guy. I am not the tech, he's the tech. But I needed something creative that I wanted to do. So I invested in a course, and it teaches you any and everything digital marketing, business building. So I went through the course. I did everything on my own. I asked him for help, and then I stopped him because I didn't want his help, because I was like, I have to do this by myself so I can prove to myself that people that are untechy can do it, and you can, because I did. And that's what I did. I created this whole little tiny empire that I am now working on building up and getting out there. So on Instagram, I started, it's a baby Instagram. I just started it. It is called Wild and Free Journey. And then I also have a YouTube, which is extra baby small because I forget to go nurture it. But it is called Wild and Free, and we're on YouTube. Um, and so yeah, I'm just starting out, and my goal and my hope is to help as many people who want to start their own digital businesses start. This course will do everything for you. So I have it to offer to other people that want to purchase it. It will teach you how to do everything from the ground floor and get you launched and get you going and teach you how to market. And on top of that, you can also resell the course and keep all of the profit from that because it has master resale rights, which means when you purchase the course, you get the license for it and it's yours to keep, sell, and all the good stuff.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Business building. So that's what I'm doing.
There you go. And you can get this if you go on our links in the description again. You can check all that stuff out, and we'll probably come back and maybe talk about that a little bit more too later on. Also, right now, Fastcoast Film Academy has released a mini series called Action Legacy Jurassic Kingdom. 3 episodes have just come out. They've been released. If you go over to our youtube.com/Fastcoast Productions, or if you go to fastcoastfilmacademy.com, there's links and you can look at the updated episodes there. It's a mini series right now that we raised some money and put this out there, put it together a little while back, and now it's released and we're showing it to everybody and to the people who helped us out. Thank you for all those people who joined and produced this educational piece that is kind of also a proof of concept to show other things that we have other big dreams, big goals to do with this kind of media where it's entertainment and educational, where we use AR and AI technologies to actually aid in creating exciting, engaging material for kids to educate them with, like, in this case, dinosaurs in Jurassic Kingdom. And we all love Jurassic Park. My kids love Jurassic Park. We like dinosaurs, all galore. We love everything. And so our kids they star in it. We star in the film. I play Professor Ackerman. Danielle plays herself. Our friend Meredith plays herself, and her kids are in the mini series too. You should go over and check it out. It's doing very well right now on our YouTube channel. Our last episode, just last Friday, episode 3 came out. Episode 4, the final episode, is coming out this Friday at 1 p.m. this coming Friday. So when you're watching this, brand new, this podcast came out Monday. It's coming out Monday at 6 a.m. So Friday, go check it out. If it's an old podcast, go check out those episodes and check them out. And you can see there will also be a full movie as well, like a full featurette of that show that will be available very soon. And also, there's a curriculum that I've written to go with it. So if there's other teachers out there that want to get this curriculum, you can find out all the details by going to fastcoastfilmacademy.com. We'll be posting things brand new, and I'll probably be putting out some more information as it comes, but we'll be releasing some specific details at fastcoastfilmacademy.com, but you can go check that stuff out. It's curriculum and the videos that you can use. You can show it in a classroom. It can be used for homeschoolers. I was a high school teacher for many years. This is something you can just use in your classroom. I mean, it's great. It's like, I know us teachers, we use YouTube and websites and all kinds of things to help aid in that visual aid. And also it'll have some printable curriculum that you can print out and use, or you can do some games and stuff like that. There'll be some cool stuff. And it's for this age group. I would say for this, what this is more going towards is like the kindergarten and like up to probably like, also I would go up to 5th and 6th grade. I'd go up there. It's silly, it's cheesy, it's fun. It knows it's cheesy. It's I tested out my son, who's a 6th grader, and he likes it. He thinks it's hilarious. He was laughing. He was laughing at some of the jokes that were in it.
Yeah.
That even though it was me, I was a different character, and
Right.
he's in it. He finally saw the final product, and he was actually getting in. He was actually interacting with it, and then he was laughing because he was interacting with it. He was actually getting into it, and so it is for that age group. I would say like kindergarten up to 6th grade. It's a good program. And then if you just want to have some fun, I was a high school teacher. Oh, show this in your biology class or something. Just, I dare you, my fellow awesome teachers out there, that if you have the child heart like I did while teaching in the classroom, man, we need some good stuff in the high school right now. We need some good material. We got good teachers out there. We got to get them some good material. So go ahead and check this out. We'll have some more stuff coming out too. If you like this material and you like what you see at fastcoastfilmacademy.com with this Action Legacy Jurassic Kingdom, these full-on episodes, if you like all what you're seeing and you want to help us, this takes time, and this takes effort, and this takes a lot of resources. And if you want to, you can donate to the cause and donate to us. There's a button. It's really easy. Just click on it. You can, and it tells you where it's going. It's going to Fastcoast Film Academy, which is under Fastcoast Productions, and you can join the cause and comment to us, or you can DM us. You can message us if you want to help out, interact with us. Go ahead and check out fastcoastfilmacademy.com. Go over to the page. And check out this show that we made, and it was fun. And the kids do remember what a Dilophosaurus is.
Yeah.
We find out what a coprolite is. We even have Dr. Einie, who's on that.
Yes.
I think he's awesome. He's a cool character that just came out of nowhere. He's related somehow to Einstein,
Sure.
but his name's Dr. Einie, and he kind of comes in with trivia and asks you questions, and it's interactive. And then there's this whole thing we're going to do. We have this plan to building this curriculum and this interactive stuff for teachers out there, and we'll show you how to do some really cool projects too that you can do in the classroom or at home if you're homeschooling your kids, or for those co-ops out there that need something. The families are getting together with their co-op and they want to put something together and have something fun for everybody to do. Like, it's almost like a scavenger hunt. There's this whole cool thing where you go out, like, imagine you just going out in a park and you're finding dinosaurs. It is pretty crazy.
Yeah.
It's insane. My daughter still loves doing it. She's 8 years old. We went out to the park in Harveston, out where we live in Temecula, and I love, they have these century plants, and they look like dinosaur plants. They're called century plants. Mm-hmm. And I populated with this this AR equipment on my phone, this app. I hid some dinosaurs around, and I made her go walk and find these dinosaurs, and she loves it. She finds it, and you can interact, and it's great. It's awesome. So if you want to find out more about this, go to fastcoastfilmacademy.com. If you want to help us, we're creating a whole thing. I'm going to get into that later. That'll be another video. This is a podcast, but I want to at least offer the opportunity. This is kind of what we do out here. And again, this podcast, we don't know where it's going to go and which way it's going to turn, but this is how we continue to do what we're doing. And I'm very creative, and I'm going to get into that too. I think I kind of know where I want the podcast to go, but I'm going to start with our story, mm-hmm. And then I'm going to start. I feel like we're going to go this creative route, which route is another play on words, a segue to something. But I'd say that to fund creativity, to fund it and help it out, it's hard because you got to have imagination. Everybody, with anything that's done out there, you need creative juice. You have to first imagine it, and then you have to put it out there. You have to make it and build it with your bare hands and put it out there. Anything you want to do in life, anything like a dream, a goal, where you want to go, it starts here. Then you have to go and pursue and execute and do. And we would love to have help with that. And if you like what we're doing, those of you who support us, that'd be great. We would love that. That's a great Christmas present for us. If you just support us in anything, any way, we don't even care. Even if it's not donating money, okay? If you're just want to support us, and if you haven't subscribed and you watch this, subscribe to us. That helps us out. Like our stuff, like it, share it to other people, put it on your webpage if you like what we're doing. Especially if you like dinosaurs, go check out Fastcoast Film Academy's Action Legacies mini-series Jurassic Kingdom. We plan to do more. We plan to do like space ones, aquatic ones, all kinds, microbiology kind of stuff like that. There's all this stuff. Dinosaurs are just fun. We wanted to do dinosaurs. That's just like a fun one, and the kids just love that. Still to this day, they still love that kind of stuff. So it's just, and then random science like robots, technology, electronics. That'll be fun to do. Virtual reality, virtual reality, and all that kind of stuff. There's so much things we can do with this program. And so if you want to talk to me, DM me, other teachers out there, I love to hear what you got to say. If you want to support us and you just love what you see, or if you want to help us, we did it pretty good with a low budget. We raised some money. It was a very low budget when we put this thing together and put it out there. And I want to see what we can do even with more. And we really appreciate those of you who did support us, because we were able to bring this to you and bring this to the public, which I'm really excited about. But without further ado, let's move on with this podcast. But there's a lot of plugging, but this is what we do. This is where this podcast came from, is if we haven't been creating things and making things, and none of this stuff would be here. None of all of them, if I didn't make movies, none of this equipment and other commercials. So it's like, this is what we do. And so if you support the cause, go ahead and all those ways will help us out. But one thing I was thinking of is our story. We were in Montana. You had your successful business, Adore Hair and Design. You're a successful realtor. I was, I was a successful teacher. I became a teacher, basically. And never thinking, but in media, in creative media, that was my specialty, which creative media is very broad. It's everything. It's like film, music, it's everything. And after school programs, I mean, I did it for years, and very, very successful, put the bread and butter on the table, did everything. Very weird, making money off of creativity. Just going, them hiring, okay, go take your creative juices and go do this class. Take your creative juices and write this curriculum. I have years of experience writing curriculum, and never thought that getting certified, by the state of Montana to go teach in a high school for 6 years, and that was awesome. That was a fun, awesome thing. And now let's take this story further. Now we're doing everything, and I'm just going to be brutally honest on this one. We're doing it. We're running. I'm teaching. You're running your salon. You're doing real estate, which you still do real estate. She still does real estate, by the way. So if you want to talk to her, DM her. She still does real estate. Go check her out. What's your Instagram again?
For real estate?
No, just for to talk to you. How do they get a hold of you? I'll put it right here.
Okay, yeah. The one I'm on is just a hodgepodge of everything that I do in life. It's just Ackerman's Adventures.
Ackerman's Adventures.
Yeah.
DM her, talk to her, find her.
Yeah.
She's easy to get a hold of. Just talk to her. We're easy to get a hold of. Just talk to us. We might not pick up right away, but if you message us right away, because we're busy people, it's not a bad thing. It's a good thing. Yeah. If you don't want to talk to us, then don't talk to us. If you're like, you're too busy, that's why I didn't talk to you. No, you just didn't want to talk to us. So make the effort. Talk to us. We are busy people. We're all busy. Everybody's busy. Nobody cares. Just talk to us.
Right.
And everything will be fine. That was a weird way, but that's just the brutal, honest truth. Just get over yourself and give us a call. That sounds horrible.
DM.
Yeah, and DM.
Does anybody call anybody anymore?
I don't know. DM me. Text me. So anyways, I always feel like we're doing the SNL
every time.
I really like, yes, I like those. I like those. Very delicious.
Coffee is delicious.
Yes, yeah.
Thank you.
I feel like we are those.
Every time.
Every
I see
time.
myself
Yeah,
in
that actress is, one of them's on Goldberg's as the music teacher. I forgot.
Molly Shannon.
There's Molly Shannon, and then I forgot her name. She's on everything though. She does everything. They all do everything. Anyways, they're the raddest people. Anyways, yeah, I always remember the one with Alec Baldwin. Anyways, yeah. So, okay. I got distracted there.
Derailed.
Yeah, no, it's okay. It's okay. That's what this show is. We derailed.
That's what we should call it.
Yeah, derailed, right. Yeah. Well, it's a rant. I'm just going
That's
off
true.
all over the place, so it's okay. So, yeah, we did these successful businesses, and I'm going to be brutally honest here. And then there was a moment we looked at each other while in Montana, and we're like, it just feels like it flatlined. Like we're doing it, like we're making money, we're surviving, we're paying, we're paying the bills, but it's just like, it's like we're supposed to be. This is supposed to be doing, and it's just like I'm just being brutally honest. Okay, I'm gonna be brutally honest. I feel like we could be brutally honest.
We were hitting the ceiling.
Yeah, we're hitting something. Like what's why isn't anything happening? What's going on? Like everything was going boom, 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 and then it just like hit, and then we're like, oh my gosh, what we could have like just okay. I'm gonna say we were in Montana. Okay, right now we're in California. We're in Montana. I mean, I still have my business out there. I still have a business out there. We'll be up in that area very shortly after recording this. So we're going to be up there not next week, but the week after next. So, anyways, yeah. So we were out there, and it was like a flat line, and we needed to jolt our heart of dreams, because we like. I'm going to talk personally so you can talk too, and so I don't talk over my wife and she can say what she needs to say. But, and I'm very talented at talking over her. So
I skipped it.
Yeah, I'm very good at doing that. So anyways, so I felt like there was a lot of things happening. I'm gonna just, this podcast I told you tonight I want to do differently.
Yeah.
And I want to be brutally honest. I didn't tell her I wanted to be brutally honest, but I have a point. I'm going somewhere with this. It's not like brutally honest, like, oh, that sucks. I have a point to this. I have a point to this. Okay. That I want to walk away feeling excited tonight. Yeah, I feel excited. I feel like where I'm going, but you gotta go to the dark to get to the light sometimes. You gotta go to that. What does Meredith say? Meredith out there? Our friend Meredith?
Comment in the comment.
The millennial, liminal. Liminal? Mm-hmm. Liminal space?
I think that's what it is.
Is it liminal space? Yeah. Liminal? I'm gonna check it real quick.
Us.
Wait, we'll check. It's okay. We got this. We got technology. Liminal space. Liminal space?
At its finest.
Millennial state. Oh gosh. Here, I'm gonna type it in. Oh my gosh. Liminal space. Here it is.
That's what I said.
Yeah, you did. You did right now. I just want to say it. What is a liminal space? Liminal space refers to the place a person is in during a transition period. It's a gap. And it can be physical, like a doorway, emotional, like a divorce, or metaphorical, like a decision. Liminal space. And I think that's fine. I'm just going to leave it in, like us figuring out the words. I don't care. I don't care if you're smarter than me or whatever. I don't care. I think I think we all can relate to this liminal spaces in our lives. And because we know this, we talked with our friend Meredith. I talked with my friends like Tim and Will, all my good friends. I always talk to friends, and there's always a moment where you're like, you're getting a new job, you're making a decision about like changing your show or whatever you're doing. You're doing this thing you built up for life, or your life, for crying out loud. You're going to change your life. And I'm gonna go back a little ways and start. And then there's a point. I'm gonna get somewhere. I made some notes so I don't get too crazy on this. But there was a moment. I was working 2 jobs at the time. I was working at the television station, and I was a production. I did all the studio stuff, and I also was a production trainer to like the general public, like and to the school systems, to the public school systems in that county. So I would work with public school systems with other, my colleagues, and then I would also work with the colleges there too, like the university and stuff like that, and work with college kids at all ages. Even at times I would work with seniors. So I saw all these senior citizens. Like I would work with a bunch of people. Now, I was working weird hours, and there was a moment too where I would go to work and then go to work right afterwards. And I got a job working with a media institute, and I'm keeping it kind of short so I can get to my point. But I was doing these two jobs, and I'd be basically gone in the evening. Basically, I'd get up and be gone. I'd be gone all day, basically. And we had Caden, and I remember things were going good. We just got our new house. I remember we got a brand new house. We became homeowners. I was building up, like, I made my own little studio in the garage kind of thing. And I'm very resourceful. I got to pat myself on the back. I'm very resourceful building stuff. A guy wants a work shed or a tool bench or something like that. I want a movie studio. I'm always creating movies. I like to tell stories, and that's my shed, I guess. So it's like a studio, a barn, or whatever. I need a place to make movies. I am very creative. I need a workplace, an art place. Anyway, so that was going really well, and you were working salon, doing the salon thing.
Yeah, I wasn't doing real estate then.
And you weren't doing real estate, but you were mama and salon.
Yeah.
And there was a moment where I was doing these jobs, and I was going back and forth, and I could see, like, I like to be present with Caden, but there was this moment, like, where I saw my life passing before my eyes. Like time was just going, and I look back, and Caden's, like, older, and I'm like, I can imagine, like, that, like, the movie Click with Adam Sandler. All of a sudden, I was like, it was like a weird, I can't explain it, but a panic. And I can't explain it. It's not like a panic attack. Because I go to work and I'd be fine. I go do my job and I do this thing. I knew my thing. I knew what I was doing. I was very comfortable in both of my workplaces. And also I started my company, Fastcoast Productions. That was a brand new, it wasn't like a do as is. It was an actual LLC, became a corporation, and
doing business as.
Yeah, I wasn't doing business as anymore. A DBA, it wasn't that anymore. It was a full on. We're doing like commercials now with organizations, and we had the insurance. We're doing all our stuff. So I had like technically 3 jobs, and so I was being pulled in all these directions, but they're all the same thing. They're all creative and doing that. But the one thing that I remember out of it, and I didn't know it was going on. I didn't know it was like, oh my gosh, I'm losing my time or anything like that. It was like I could sense that's what it was, but I didn't really know what that was in front of me. And so I was like talking to, people at the television station. I was helping kids out. I just like come home and I'd be like tired and pooped, but I'd still do stuff. I'd be making movies. I'd be available. I was there. I was present. I wasn't like gone or anything. But there was like, there was times, there was moments like I noticed like how I was acting. I was like, why am I acting like this? And I think I was just being like, I was promised things. Like I would do something. I was promised like, oh, this can grow into this, and then that would never happen. I didn't acknowledge that was happening. I just kept on going, it's going to happen. Something's going to happen. Yeah. And then when people, like, especially organizations, people are human, and they promise things. Nobody can keep a promise. I mean, keeping your word, you could try, but life happens. Mm-hmm. Things happen in life, and then you can't wait on other people. No. And I didn't realize I was like a young guy still. Like I was just in my 30s now. We had Caden, and I still had that 20-year-old mentality. They said this is a good person. If I work really hard, I'm gonna get what this person promised me. Yeah. And you can't hold out for that stuff. No. It's not gonna happen. And it wasn't happening. And I knew that, and I felt like, what is going on? I need to do something, but I had nothing else to go. Like I had nowhere to grow. I was already at the top of where I was in my career, and and even one of my bosses told me, "You're at the ceiling. This is as far as you go." He actually told me that's as far as you go, and I was just like, now I'm like, there's no hope. I don't know what I'm doing. I could feel like I need to grow. And that's what I felt like. I felt like I was like, and every time before I would go to work, I'd have these like blurt outs, like these rants. And she would be right there holding Kaden, or Kaden be asleep or whatever. And I would tell her, I don't know what's going to happen, but I'm going to have to make a decision, and it's going to affect us. It's going to change our lives drastically. That's all I would say to you. I know it's going to change, because I could tell in my head that I was going to make a decision either to, like, I was going to do something different, but it's going to, like, but I don't know what it is yet, you know, that kind of thing. And that happened. And so I'm going to just make this, like, short, like, I'm just doing not full on details, but I need some details so people can understand, wrap their head around this this idea. And I was feeling like I was flatlining, like nothing's going, nothing's getting up and moving. I was just like, what is wrong?
Stagnant.
But I had everything. We had a house, we had, you know, roof over head, I had my business going. I was, you know, I was they would call me a film instructor. I thought that was pretty cool. It was a cool title. I was also a producer. I was getting called to go to places to teach people how to make horror movies. I make a lot of horror movies and stuff, and I was asked to go speak or go teach and do these big things, and it was awesome. It was fun. We even met, me and you, like, you guys got to come with us sometimes to these, like we went to Hatch Fest, and we met like Tim Daly, and we met like a lot of people and like famous people and stuff like that, and it was like it was like we're starstruck. I know a lot of people go, I'm not starstruck. I don't get starstruck. You're full of it. Yeah, I was very happy to be able to work with these people. It was really cool to meet like famous people or CEOs of, like, I got to meet the CEO of like Wired magazine, which I was like a nerd. I'd always look at Wired magazine, and meet some other people that design shoes and other things, and Intel, some people from Intel and stuff like that. That was really cool. And so there's a lot of big things happening, and I was just like feeling like something has to happen. And then all of a sudden I get a phone call. Hey, can you come and teach at this high school, from this principal? And I was like, sure. And I literally was getting a phone call while I was on stage speaking at an event, doing this whole thing, and I get this call. And it does kind of pump you up. You're like, oh, things are happening. Like, this is when you feel like there's a change. You feel like it's almost like you're flatlining, and then boop, okay, something's happening. Boop. This is different than what I normally, like, it's different career path, a completely different career path. So I go to this high school. I tell them, like, once I fly in, I'll go have an interview with you. I'll sit down. Literally sit down in the interview. He hands me the keys, and I'm like, whoa. Whoa. I got to talk to the wife first. This is a big decision. Meaning that I knew I was going to have to say goodbye to one of my jobs. Right. One of them was the Media Institute. Yeah. Definitely was one of those. Right. So I go, say goodbye to the Media Institute. Doesn't go very well. That's a whole nother story too. Sadly, the person who was ahead of it also passed away. Good friend of mine. Loved him dearly. Still miss this guy big time. Still friends with everybody at this institute. Yeah, some of them. Not all of them, yeah.
The good ones. The
good ones, yeah. And the good ones know who they are, because we all still hang and talk and stuff. And it was a good time, and it was time to go. And that was the hardest decision, breaking that off, because it's like everything I knew. And I was going to this high school to become a high school teacher, using my certification and my experience to teach a creative media class. So I do that, and that felt awesome. And the principal was like, this could expand, again, promising me something that it'll expand. If you do good in your class, you get this going. I had like 3 kids at the time in each class, like 4 or 5 or 10 kids. It depended. I had 3 classes. No, I had 4 classes, I think. Low. Yeah, let's say I had a period 0. I think it was like because they were a block system, so I think it was, yeah, I'd have, it was either, I forget, it's been a while since I've been there. It's been now 2
I
years.
have 3 classes in a prep.
Yeah, prep period, which was turned into a class towards my last
Right.
2 years there. But I was there and fell in love with all the kids.
Yeah.
The kids fell in love with me. We fell in love with each other because it was like it was good, healthy classroom, and going against some public school issues that everybody commonly knows, like just bad stuff, other teachers not caring about the kids.
Right.
You know who you are. Teachers that just don't care. They're just doing their job.
Yeah.
You know, they've just lost the light in it. And I saw it. Those are all the flatliners I could see there. And I'm like, I want to do things. So I would always tell the kids, and my students can vouch for me on this.
Yeah.
I would always tell them, let's do something beyond the classroom. I want to go beyond the, like, there was even like a program called like Classroom Without Borders or something like that. It's like, yeah, you're just, or Without Walls. Yeah, that's what I was totally game for that. Let's go. And we did a lot of things. We even did a big festival screener at the Ferroplex Theater. We go out. We made a commercial, and it got on this like Be Kind like organization, and it got news coverage of it, and it was really awesome. And we even did the district videos for the school. We did a lot of things. It was really cool to have the district office in our classroom sometimes, and the kids, you could see the importance to it. They could put this on their resume. We taught them like how to turn this, what you're doing, this creative media, into a skill that you can use for other things. You know, you can change it. If it's, you're not going to get into media, you're not going to get into film, but you can use this to actually go to show like, I directed something. Oh, he directed something. Oh, he's good at managing, so we'll have him supervise this, or have her supervise this. So we there's really good. I worked along with the parents that were willing to come into the classroom and help out. We had guest speakers, like we had executive producers come in. We had Hollywood makeup artists come into our classroom. We had Hollywood cinematographers and directors come into our classroom and talk and give things. And this would like blow kids away, because this was like the movies they knew of and watched, and they were like talking to these people. And I brought these people in the classroom because of the people I made friends with over the years, you know. And I would bring people in, or people that are doing their own businesses. I would just get them a feel. We even brought Caden in to show him, and that was like the highlight. I think that was the highlight. And the kids are just, what it did was it actually humanized me. Right. They're like, this is Mr. Ackerman's a human. He's not a teacher. Like kids get this like teacher thing, and they could see like, oh, he's a dad, and he's like, this is his son. His son's doing okay. There was something about that. There's like a barrier breakage right there, a big icebreaker. And Caden would just take over the class. He's a very shy kid, but he'll take over a class.
Put him in his element.
Yeah, he's in it, and he was teaching, and he would do a screener of his movies, stop motion movies, and the kids loved it. They loved it, and they would get violent and bloody and stuff, and they loved it. It was awesome. So I was flatlining. I was like, and you were making adore hair and design. You were doing that at the time, and we were doing the high school, and that's when you kind of broke off into your own. You kind of did, I think, before I went to the high school. You broke off. You and your partner Marika did your thing, and you got your little place all set up in the Circle Square area, and you did that, and then it was like, it's small, we need to grow, kind of the same thing. Later, and then you got some help, and both of you got the funds together and moved across the street to a bigger salon, and then you guys went and were like, we could do better, and then you moved it again to a better location.
We were there for like 5
Yeah, we shot a movie there too.
Years. We were there for
shot a movie at every salon, actually. You had every salon, even the ones that you were like partnering with other, or you were booth renting. Yeah. But you decided to go out on your own. Yeah. So you did it. Yeah. You first went, and then I had my little business. I call it my suitcase business. Because I just pick up a suitcase and fly somewhere. I literally, that's what I would. Or I'd drive somewhere. I'd be gone, like, for a while. Like, sometimes on a commercial or a show or something like that. I was doing freelance work. And then I started getting more gigs where it was Fastcoast Productions, fully related. And that was really cool. And that started happening. And so we were doing a lot of stuff and getting really involved with the community. And then I decided to do something nuts. Well, I get a brick and mortar building, with your sister, my sister-in-law. She's awesome. We both go in together. She gets the front of the building. I get the side. We had our own entrances. It was really awesome. That was a great time. And then I'm like, I'm in this building, and I'm like, what the heck am I doing? But it felt like I was alive.
Yeah.
I felt alive. And I was making things happen. And then all of a sudden, things did start happening. We had Huey Lewis come in. It was really weird. Like, literally, I went in the building, and then somebody went.
People came.
The people called.
If
And
you
went,
build it,
they
will come.
They sought me out. I mean, I was like, who is the New Orleans? What the heck is New
Yeah.
Orleans? And then it turned out it was these guys that know Huey Lewis, and they needed me to interview him, and they also need me to interview some other people.
Right.
It turned into this big ordeal, and it was like this huge thing, and it was really fun. I was able to hire my friends to help out with it. It was really great. And then summer comes around. I'm just kind of pushing through this as fast. This is like story time.
Story time.
And I'm like, we need to do something for the kids for the summer. My kids in the high school are like, hey, can we do something? And I've been doing stuff with the Media Institute, but I didn't do that anymore.
Right.
I was just making my own movies, doing my own thing. And they're like, are you going to be doing anything this summer? And they were like thinking through the school. And I would try to go, hey, I would talk to the school, like, hey, can I do this and that? And they're like, no, can't do that. I'm like, well, I want to teach this. No, I can't. Can I? No. It was literally all that. I was like, but I don't want them to sit. They have to sit and be bored. That's basically all I could hear when they were saying they need to sit and be bored and write and be bored. But you're letting, these other teachers go walk on a trail where they can get eaten by a mountain lion, and I have to do this. That's different. But I can't go make a fake movie with fake stuff, but they can go in real danger. It was just stupid red tape.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, school, I don't need you. It would have been awesome. You guys are weird. And so I just kept doing my stuff, stayed within the school, system. That's what they call a system. It's a piece of crap. I'm going to just tell you. I'm going to say it, my word right now. The public school system is a piece of crap. Mark my words. And I don't care if you come after me and your other teachers out there and you're like, oh, poor Mr. Ackerman. I knew there was something wrong with him.
If you work in
You're
the school
blind.
System, you know it is.
You're blind. You're just like, I just need to make my rent today. I will do what you say, school. I will do what you say. Yes, I will not teach. I will pretend to look like I'm teaching. I know some of you, I don't care. I told you, I'm going to get dark. So turn this off if you hate this, or give me a chance. Listen, hear me out. The system sucks, okay? So, but I worked in it, and I understood. I'm like, okay, they have their rules. They have their polyfaith. Their polyfaith, and they don't want to offend parents, even though they're like, we're just going to, let this kid get a good grade, even though he doesn't do anything. We're going to let him get a good grade so our numbers are good. We need our numbers good.
They learn nothing.
But we need our numbers good.
Yeah.
And there are good teachers in the school system that really, I saw teachers in that school that would they'd be on because they're the ones that are parents are the best.
Yeah.
Or the ones they're going to become parents. You can see it, they're young. Those are the good teachers. Those are the ones that you go, they care about these souls. They care about these little kids, these precious cargo. Yeah. And that's what I did. I cared. I was like, oh, what are we going to do? Anyway, so let's do a summer program. Hey, what do you guys want to do? We want to make a music video, do something quick, for the week, let's do something quick because I have to go make money. And I know I was just going to do some pro bono just to see what happens. Just put my toe in the water, see what happens.
Give the kids something to do.
Yeah. So we make this movie. The kids are like, we don't want to make a music video or a short movie or what all these other places are doing. We want to make a full feature film. And I'm like, whoa, the timeout. We got to do. And I started sounding like another teacher. I'm like,
timeout.
Wait a second.
Policies.
Okay. If you guys want to do it, you're game. They're game. And I was like, okay, let's do this. So we make a movie called Scarlet. We do it. We do it in 4 days. We make a movie. A year later, it comes out. We do this big release. We show it at the Fairplex Theater. It's packed out. Packed out. Then we release it on Amazon Prime. It goes out on Amazon Prime. And right now, they pulled it from Amazon Prime, and it's now getting a second run on all. There's a ton of streaming channels out there, like Tubi and all this. You'll have to go out and look for it. It's called Scarlet. Just look up Scarlet Fastcoast Film Academy, and you can find it. There's a ton of movies named Scarlet, I found out, so it was like a terrible title for us to make. But we came up with it. All of us kids and us, we came up with it. I wrote the general, like, the backbone of the script, and then they added the meat and chunks and all that stuff to it. And we filmed it. We filmed this movie. And then those kids jumped on and helped me with Space Lock, and that movie's done, and now we're getting ready for distribution and doing all that stuff with Space Lock. They jumped on that. So it was like we made all this stuff happen. All this, like, this program was going really well. So we just used the Fast Coast Film Academy. Go, hey, you want to learn how to make movies? They're like, yeah. And they're like, do you want to be sit in a classroom and then me talk? And they're like, no. Do you want to be on a film set and see how we do it? Yeah. And then we're like, okay, that'll be the Fast Coast Film Academy. You can intern and do that, and you'll learn, because then you can help. But you have to work, you have to do stuff. And they're like, yeah. And some of them would get there and like, this is work, I don't like movies, and they'd leave. And then some of them would, most of the time, all of them would stay. I have to kick them out. Like Wednesdays and Thursdays, I have a ton of kids. Like, there's tons of kids, and you were there. I would have you come, and we'd take over the whole facility. I got into this new place, this new facility, great program, great place. The RIA Development Agency, the Rural RIA Development Agency, and they had like really fancy. I was in Fancy Town. It was like fancy. They like vacuum, take out my trash. This is like very weird. I had to do all my own stuff. And I had a lady at a front desk. She was awesome. I get a package. I go, oh, just drop off the package at the front desk. And they would go, so you have a package. Or I'd find it'd be sitting on my desk, like, oh, I forgot the package. And I had this place, and it was so great. It was awesome. And we shot so many. We used that building, and we started making Metal Rebound. Ton of kids coming, helping out. Adults, kids, everything, doing tons of things. Awesome time. Great time. Things are going great. But I still feel like we're flatlining. All of a sudden. I feel like something's fine. Your business, doing great. But I feel like we're flatlining.
Right.
You're going like, you're even like, you're doing great. You're making like you're making income, but you're like, hey, I am a salon, like that. You're like, and I was like, we're doing the things we like, but we're like, I'm like this, and but we're making some, but something's wrong. We don't know what it is. Yeah. Something's wrong. I'm just going to jump, like, because we've talked about this a number of times in the podcast. You can watch our number of our podcasts, especially like the first pilot. There's more details and stuff I go into. But I resign the school. I go into the principal's office. I resign.
Yeah.
I need something different. And I don't know what I'm doing. It's like the dumbest move. I don't know what I'm doing. Dumbest move.
That's the best.
Pack up all our things. You still have your salon still.
Yeah.
You're still doing your salon. Like, we'll be back. We are. We go back. We kind of go back and forth.
Yeah. It's home.
Yeah. I say goodbye to my office where we were doing this amazing movie, Metal Rebound. Mm-hmm. We also were making Pirates Cove in my other office. We're doing like multiple projects.
Always.
Zombies, Monsters, Action, the movie. And also the dinosaur movie. We did that, which is out right now. You can watch that. These things are coming out, by the way. And Space Lock, all those movies. Anyways, so now it's like I'm giving up my office. That was the weirdest thing. Like, that we're doing well, but I'm giving up my office. Right. Like, good. I've had so many cool meetings in this place. Mm-hmm. I have a boardroom with a huge table. I have a lunchroom.
All the things you need.
I have a courtroom, a courtyard. It was a beautiful courtyard. I have a window in my office, and it was just trees, and then there'd be like a robin, and it'd land, and I'd be like, oh, and I go back to editing. I was editing stuff for the museum. I was doing tons of things. Things were going great, but I decided we needed to do something. Mm-hmm. We needed to jumpstart. And the scary part, the normal way of thinking was, we'll figure this out like we always did. Mm-hmm. When I say figure out, we'll figure out why we're like, Like either you would have probably, like you and the girl. I think you guys were talking about even changing something with the song. I forget. There's like or just keeping the same and maybe walking away and just having booth renters. I remember there was a lot of talk. There was real estate going on, like how to grow the real estate.
Right. Like what do you really want to do?
You changed also from Keller Williams over to Pure West with Bobby, who was the one who sold us our homes.
Yeah.
And she's a great person. Yes. Hi, Bobby. If you watch this, hi, Bobby. We love you. Yes. She's the greatest person. She just took us under her wing, and then you're still in contact. You're still with them. And I was taken under the wing of that rural, whatever it's called, the redevelopment. RR. I used to could say it fine, but they were happy. It was like I knew the person. I came full circle, and they were like so happy to have me there, and it was just great. It was a win-win, and loved my office, loved my little studio, and made tons of things there. And I was just so happy to get in that, and that's a whole nother story too. And then to go, okay, I got here, and now to give it up. Because
you've been there for over a year, though. It wasn't like you got it and then we left.
Yeah, but still a year for me is fast. I age like a dog. So I'm ADD, so I go fast. Life goes, because it's true. I always I talk to my grandma. She's 80.
We need to make a shirt.
Yeah, she's 82 years old, and I go, you look in the mirror, and one day you look old. You don't feel it, but one day you're like, I'm old. There's like, I don't feel it, but I look old, like that. And that's what I always had these conversations since I was a little kid, since I was Caden's age, asking her, Cameron, do you feel old? No. One day you just get older, and it happens fast, even though it doesn't happen fast. I remember always asking time questions. I was curious about that. And there's always something ticking in me, like, I gotta do this, I gotta do that, I just want to, when I die, I just want to know I did everything. I didn't get trapped in something I didn't want. Even though the things that I am going for and pursuing, there's things around me that are always trying to trap me, make me feel trapped, or because you run out of funds on a film, always movies run out of funds. You run out of funds, or you only get so much funds. You're like, I need more, guys, and they're like, no, this is all you can do. Make an amazing thing, and you're like, okay, or here's this, edit this. And I'm like, all right, I'll squeeze as much I can out of that. You have wishful thinking. It's funny. Turned in that resume, and resignation. Turned in the resignation, not my resume. I've done that many times before. Not knowing what the outlook was going to be. We had some ideas, but those all fell through.
Right.
And still, normal people would be like, oh, they fell through. Let's just do... Because we had our connections up there. We still do have connections up there. We had all our connections. Things happened. I worked on a big film with my friend. My friend hired me on his big film. And that was fun. That was I call it, that was summer camp for me. Yeah, hard work.
We were supposed to leave, and then that showed up. So we made it work and did that.
Yeah.
And then left.
And we left. And our friend helped us out, Meredith. And my friend hired me on his movie. He was like, oh, you're leaving? I'm like, well, I can stay if I can figure out how to stay. We were ready to leave right away.
Oh yeah, we were packed up out of our house. We
were ready to go, and he's like,
we had nowhere to go.
If you can figure out where to stay, because I know you have your family, or figure out. I remember Kyle. I'm gonna just say your name, Kyle. 99 Productions. Love you guys. We love the whole family. Hawaiian Hearts. We love you guys. Our kids get along. That's all that matters, right?
Always.
Well, and me and Kyle are like two kids, and then you guys we looked over and our wives are talking, and then our kids are playing together. Yeah, so we'll get together again. We'll be up soon. Kyle, I remember he looked at me because if you could figure out a way to stay, he was so awesome. Stay, then I'll bring you on the whole movie. If you can't, get settled in California, get your family settled, and then we'll have you come up and film for the few moments they need me, because I was playing some major roles. And so they would just get me done, like how they do any actor. And I was like, okay. So I had two options. And then we ended up getting a place to stay.
Yeah.
Thanks to Meredith.
Yeah.
And right after the movie, right after the movie wrapped, felt like a whirlwind.
Yeah, it was crazy.
We packed up everything we could pack up, packed everything up into that storage unit, left some things at your parents' home. We packed everything up, packed up my Mustang. And why we keep talking about this over and over, I realize people that when they talk about life, it's because we can't believe we did it. Normal people would have stayed. The businesses would have kept on going, keep us afloat. We'd figure everything out. Everything would work out fine. And things would go smoothly. And we'd figure it out. It would be just that way. We'd just figure it out. But we knew we had to try something exciting and different. And when my dad heard that I was trying to do something, I was going to do something, he could tell, he calls me a rebel sometimes. He just goes, he knows if I get something in my mind, he goes, he's going to do it. And I think he kind of gets like a thrill out of watching me do stuff. Like we'll have talks and Pop, if you're watching this, I love that when I can tell when he looks at me, he'll see me like, are you going to do it? Like I can tell like, even if I'm talking on the phone, I can see him looking at me like that. I'm kind of like, that's kind of what we'll do. We'll encourage each other. Anyway, so he was like, oh my gosh, she's going to do it. And he's like, don't worry. Get out here. We'll help you. We'll work it out. It'll all work out. And he did. He made it work out. He has been.
He has connections.
He totally has connections. And here we are. We're in California. We packed up a Mustang, a 2-door Mustang, with a cat, a dog, 2 kids in this Mustang, put a backpack on it, a cargo backpack on it, filled the trunk full of everything, basically whatever I can of my studio. Came down here. I immediately started making things because I was still getting my residuals from the other movie and other things I've worked on Fastcoast Productions. We packed everything up. We're saying goodbye to your parents. Everybody's crying. We're all crying.
Don't make me relive that. That's terrible.
No. I'm getting to... I know you gotta go dark to get to light. We're passing over here, okay?
Liminal space.
Yeah. And I don't know. It's all like... If you ever know... Okay, I was watching Groundhog Day on the airplane. When we came down to just do what we called boots on the ground, we were like going, let's go look around California. Can we do this? Because why California? Like it's beautiful looking, but it's horrible. Like there's horrible politics here. There's just a lot of crazy stuff here.
Beautiful state, terrible politics.
And bad taxes. You know, we're not saying... We're saying what everybody says. You know, it is what everybody says it is.
But it is beautiful.
It is beautiful out here. Anyways, so we come down and not right away, but I basically right away, like February of 2023. It was 2022 when we got here. 2023. I released Space Lock. I finished a movie while I'm here in my little... I don't have an office like this yet. I'm like I have a table. I released Space Lock in October. I'm doing this so I can understand my timeline here. I put that out and I felt weird. Like, okay, cool. I got Space Lock out. But normally I do I did do a screening. We did do a screening already. I did that, but I feel weird. Like I put it out. That's it. Okay, it's out. All right, sweet. And put it in film festivals. Get some festival runs, and it's actually smashing it in festivals. Still, though, while it's happening, I'm still going... I'm not working. I'm just getting paid from this movie I worked on. Right. I'm getting some checks they owe me. And I'm sitting there going, I don't have a job yet, but I'm getting paid. And all of a sudden I get a job as a media director at the church. So that starts happening. And also getting the newspaper, the local newspaper.
Not the newspaper.
Shout out SoCal, the magazine. Sounds old. In the newspaper, I was in it.
I'm somebody.
You were in the obituaries.
No.
But you came back alive tonight.
At 9.
Yeah. Shout out SoCal. I have a picture up there. I'm looking at. You guys can't see it, but I'm looking at it. I am going. We're here. We go to the beach, and every time I go to the beach, there's something symbolic about the beach. We went to the beach the other day, but it was all foggy. You could see it, but it was like foggy. It was like, it looks cool. It looked cool actually. It looked like mystical. It looked like Oregon or something like that. But no, we go to the beach. We can go to the beach now. I go to the beach, and whenever there's a sunset or whatever, I just look and go. All it reminds me is we're here. We did it. And I'm like, how is that possible? Everybody I talk to who hear about what we did so far, we're still doing it. We're still doing this right now. Talk to us right now. Okay, there's a point, right? You gotta go dark to get to the light. Doing this, and I had a friend of mine, Josh, here. Made a lot of friends so far, tons of friends so far. Mm-hmm. Josh goes, Christian, that's a testament to your family. Getting your 2 kids, your pets, all in that little Mustang, and driving from Montana to California. That's a testament to your family. And I'm like, wow. Like him saying that, I was like, yeah, it is. It is. I didn't know how to respond. I was
an
just
outsider's perspective.
Yeah, it is. It is, man. And I remember even the pastor of the church there was like, you're taking a leap of faith right now. Mm-hmm. Even him saying that and taking a step of faith.
Yep.
And
it was all God.
It did. It worked all out. It was crazy how it worked out. And like down to the point where the car breaks down a little bit, and we have a mechanic living right next door to us, certified mechanic named Justin, who's awesome. Friends with him now. He's taken my car. He's fixed it. He knows my car better than I know my car now, I think. And so Rick lived next door, and I just go, hey, can you work on it? He'd be like, yeah, I can. He'd work on it and fix it. So that's cool. Down to we've been making friends. We're making things happen. We're still kind of in this like, all right, we're here, and we're getting ready to launch. That's how it feels right now. Yeah. Feels like we're building a base.
Yeah, we landed.
A base. We're building, like we crash landed this rocket. Now we're building a new foundation base for our big rocket to take off. And I so believe that's what it feels like when you're in a Groundhog Day. I was watching Groundhog Day when we went down. I was like, and it was the first time I watched that movie where I'm like, I'm finally, because we hadn't made a decision that we're going to do it, but we were on the edge of like, let's do this.
Is it something we can do?
Can we do it? And we're like, no, we can't. Reality says no. Facts say no.
California is expensive.
California says no.
No.
And we went, okay, and we went, let's go.
Yeah.
Which in my note, it says go. And we went. Yeah. And we went for it.
But why did we go? Because we felt like God was like,
yeah,
go. And we were like, oh, maybe.
But why? Everybody would go, you're going to California. Why? Like there was a guy I was working with on the movie he's from Hollywood. Worked on Spider-Man, Tobey Maguire movies. So, why are you moving back? And I said, well, and I would tell him, I go, we have family. We'll be back. I'm keeping my business up in Montana. We'll be back. We'll be working. And he goes, okay, family, I can see that. Yeah. Not like for anything else. He's like, going down for people, your soul, your people, your peeps, your friends, your that. He goes, yeah, I can see that.
But we were literally like the only car driving to California.
Well,
all the other cars were going out of
California. We're going against the grain.
Yeah.
And we came here, and right now we're doing stuff right now. And this podcast has come out of it. The Action Legacies has finished because of it. We have accomplished a lot of things so far. There's still a lot of unknowns right now that we're working on. That's kind of like we're building up this whole thing. We're doing it. So I gotta say to you, breaking the cycle of that is crazy. Like saying you can't do anything. How far are you willing to go to do it? I always think of that. I'm going to go back to that King Kong movie. Mm-hmm. Jack Black looks at Adrian Brody and says, if you really wanted it, you would have jumped. You would have jumped out. You got wet. You wouldn't care. You'd swim. You get to the end. You get to the shore. And if you really wanted to get back, you would have jumped. And some of you are sitting in your ship. And the steering wheel connected to your what do you call it? Your steering is rusted out, and you're just in the current floating. You're doing fine. You're just floating. You're surviving.
Maybe not thriving.
And you look over and you see, it'd be cool to be over there. And you've had the logical talk. Grass is greener on the other side. Always on the other side, right? The grass is greener on the other side. You had the talk, like, really, there's going to be reality, there's going to be consequences. You had that talk. I always do that with myself. I go, before I go, I have to have that talk with myself, the pros and cons. The math doesn't match up. But are you willing to jump if you really want it? I'm going to leave you with that. Are you willing to jump if you really, really want it? Would you do what the Ackermans did? Pack it all up and go for it. You have anything to say?
By the grace of God, we did this. It was not something that we were like, yeah, we can do this on our own. No. Like, I never would have left Montana. But God was like, go. And we're like, okay.
Right.
So, that's what I have to say. That's what I have to say. God guided it.
Yeah.
He knows where we're going. He knows the finish line.
I stepped out of the boat and went right into that water. And for some strange reason, she followed me. And the kids said, let's go. And the dog and the cat came too.
My kids that don't want to move houses.
And Caden's sentimental about houses. When we're all excited, we're moving to a new place. And they're like, no.
Yeah.
And then they're like, oh, I like this place now. This time it was very different.
Yeah.
Something was different. I think sometimes we talk ourselves out of jumping off the boat and going.
All the time, because it's scary. And the unknown is super scary.
So scary.
Yeah. But being stuck is scary too.
Being stuck is scary too.
Staying the same is scary. Pick your hard, choose your hard, what's your hard.
I know. I'm going to look back and go, remember we did that?
I literally still look back right now, like when you were talking about packing the car and like leaving.
Yeah.
Like I had this terrified feeling that like I don't want to ever do that again. Because like the grace of God was on us to go.
Yeah.
Because that is not something I ever would have wanted or chose.
Right.
But we had a good feeling about it when we were going. It was exciting. And we were like, let's go.
Yeah.
And I cried a lot because we were leaving everything and all of my people. But at the same time, like, I just had this peace. Like, I knew that God was guiding it. And so but looking back, that's so terrifying to me. Because God gives you the grace to deal with what you're dealing with in that moment.
Yeah.
He's not going to give you the grace to deal with what you're going to deal with in a year from now. You don't have that grace right now. He's going to give it to you. I feel like I have to get really close to my
microphone. We want to hear this, though.
He gives you the grace you need in the time you need it. So, like, looking back on us packing up and leaving my parents' house, like, I shouldn't have got out of bed. I should have stayed in bed and said, I'm not going. I hate you. Leave without me. Like, I should have said that.
Yeah.
But I didn't. I was like, all right, here we go. We're packed up. Let's do this. Because the Lord's grace was there because we were supposed to go. And I look back and I don't have that peace and I don't have that grace looking back at that moment because I don't need it right now. Because we did it.
We did it.
So whatever you're supposed to do, talk to God.
Yeah.
He will give you the grace to deal with it.
Right.
Good, bad, ugly. You see people go through horrible life circumstances. And you're like, how can that person handle that?
Yeah.
It's the grace of God.
Yeah.
Believe it or not, it is the grace of God.
Yeah.
Like, there's no way to go through life without him. And if you are, stop it because you need him.
Yeah.
And his grace will be there. If you have something coming up in the future that you're terrified about, God's grace will meet you there.
Yeah.
You won't be there by yourself.
Let's go.
That's what I gotta say.
That's good. That is so good. Because, yeah, it's, I'm still like, that's why when I'm glad we're documenting this.
Mm-hmm. We've been trying to document this for like a year. Like, before we even left for California,
we knew things were in the
like
works.
This.
We are planners to an extent.
Yeah.
We do. We're not like dumb and just
like plan, procrastinate.
Yeah, but because we're normal people. We're just like we're normal.
We're human.
Yeah, and we did this thing, and man, talking about putting my pride to the side. I mean, you say I'm not prideful, but I say about there's guys we can be all of us can be prideful in certain things, and they're little. And that little sense of that degree of prideness can send you off in the wrong direction.
Oh yeah, it'll knock you over every time.
And I had to let go of a lot of pride, and I don't think we would have made it to California. I don't think we would be here. There's still a lot that's happening right now that we're building right now. Mm-hmm. We literally hit reset and watch us rebuild, watch us build stuff. Watch us make stuff. Watch us create stuff. Watch what happens. Things are going to happen. And that's our story. This is the beginning of the story. And if you've just started watching these podcasts, you are at the beginning of our story. Yeah. You're going to be the ones to the very end. So start messaging us, DM us. We need all the support we can. Just talk to us. Say, hey, awesome, or I did something similar years ago, or whatever it is. Any kind of encouragement, that is always awesome.
And anytime we can encourage you.
Yeah.
Like if there's something you're wanting to do or whatever.
Yeah.
If you're in a liminal space, whatever it is, like.
Yeah.
Like, reach out. Like, maybe we have some advice. Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
You don't know unless you ask.
You don't know unless you ask. And we have a lot of plans. There's so many things I want to do. Mm-hmm. I always look at my kids, or I remember talking to my dad as I was a kid and had dreams and aspirations and things to do. And you could tell that you get that look, and they're like, yeah. And then as you get older, you become the dad listening to your kids, and you're like, yeah. And you're like realizing like, oh, some of those are like sound impossible dreams. But why do they have to be impossible? What if you tried to go make it happen? Because the only way it's impossible is if you don't start walking towards your dream. The first step is that you're doing it.
Yeah.
The second step is keep on going.
Yeah. The only thing that stands in between you and your dreams is you.
And the easiest thing and the hardest thing you'll ever do is be you. Yeah, hold on to that dream, protect it. So that's our story. Our story is life was flatlining. And we're like, we need to bring this to life. Or we can stay here and we'll worry about normal things do normal.
Do what you always do.
Do normal life. Like everybody else was in Montana. Like doing mow our lawn. I love mowing my lawn. I mean, I miss mowing the lawn. I don't even mow the lawn anymore.
Yeah, it was a good time.
Yeah.
But you do what you always did. You get what you always got. That's where we were kind of at. We're like, okay, it's good. And it would have been fine if we stayed.
It would have.
But God has things he needs us to do. So
I would have still been teaching another class. I was ready to teach another.
Think you would have. I don't think I would have loved that.
I know she wouldn't let it out, but I was ready. I was like, okay, let's go. Let's go.
No, that character.
Even they were ready for me. They knew they were. I surprised them. They were like, I surprised myself and I surprised them, and they were like, whoa! And it was planned too. It was like I came in with a written. It was all planned out.
Time to go.
Time to go. And we did it. And here we are. And if you want to support us in this journey, encourage us, talk to us, DM us. We want to talk to you. I really get a kick out of people commenting on our YouTube channel and talking to us.
I mean, we don't do this just to hear ourselves
and
talk.
I'll try to talk back to you. Yeah, we really appreciate it.
We want to help other people. I mean, it's scary.
And we want other people to help us.
We literally had no idea. Well, we still don't really know. I mean, you really never know what you're doing, but it's not like we had a roadmap or like somebody else to follow. Like, oh, hey,
Yeah.
This family did this, and we're gonna do that too. What did you do to do that? We don't have those people. We are those people.
We became those people.
We're literally plowing the way and doing something that nobody does.
Yeah.
Nobody does what we do.
Yeah.
I mean, sure they do, but I don't know anybody that does what we do.
Right.
So we're paving a way. So, reach out if you're in a similar situation or you're thinking about it or whatever. Like any way we can help you, we want to help.
Yeah.
Even if it's just giving you words of encouragement or advice or just saying you can do it.
Yeah, exactly. So just support us. Go to our website at fastcoastproductions.com, fastcoastfilmacademy.com. You can support any of our programs there. But this podcast, christianackerman.com, to hear our story, go to christianackerman.com. There's the podcast page. You can watch our old podcasts there. You can also donate to us if you want to donate. Give us a little, like $1, 25 cents, whatever it is you want to. Or just comment and tell us something of encouragement. That is of value to us. We appreciate you guys, those of you who are watching. And if you look, we don't have a lot of viewers. So if you talk to us, we'll talk to you. And we know this is going to grow to something. Who knows what this will change into? The name might change. One day things will change. You grow, you change, you adapt, you pivot, you grow. But right now, it's the Mr. Ackerman Rant Podcast 3000. Thanks to my kids in the classroom for naming what I do. The name of this podcast. Rant. Yeah. I just added 3000 because I like the Iron Man story. I like it. There's something magical with that and positivity with that. Change of heart. And continue to support us. Go to Apple Podcasts too, and you can watch these episodes sooner before they come out on Monday at 6 a.m. Every Monday.
Early risers.
6 a.m. Thank you for joining us, and hopefully we had coffee with you, maybe dinner with you. I don't know how you watch us. You can watch us however you want. Maybe we drove to work with you. Hopefully you enjoyed this podcast. We're going to get more stuff. We're going to keep trying to change it up, and do things. We might even be doing a podcast up in Montana, actually, in the studio up there. So.
And if you've made it through this podcast,
if you did,
thank you. We love you.
Thank you,
people.
Yeah.
Also, maybe comment something that you would like us to talk about.
Yeah, exactly. We haven't done the live. The live thing was awesome too.
Yeah.
We'll do those again, but right now we're still building and figuring this out
tonight.
Yeah, it's like this is a good long podcast. I'm glad you did it. I'm glad she was like, no, I don't want to. No,
I'm going to bed.
There you go. So, and then maybe we'll be able to do a Christmas version podcast soon too. So thank you for listening to this episode, and we appreciate you guys so much. I'm Christian Ackerman. This is
Danielle Ackerman.
And her link and stuff is all down there. You can find her here on Instagram. Find me here on Instagram. I'm Mr. Ackerman, the official Mr. Ackerman, with Mr. Ackerman Rants Podcast 3000, MARP3K. And go over to our websites, support us. Help us out. We're going to have merch too. We're going to have all this fun stuff. It's going to be great. We're going to build something big and awesome, and we love you to be a part of it. And man, thank you for the handful of people that listen to us. We love you guys. Goodbye. Good night. Have a great night.
Go build your empire.
Or a great morning or a great afternoon.
What did they say in the Truman Show?
If I see you, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. And good night. Yeah, sorry, I messed it up. I'm a movie guy. I messed up. It's late though. I am like getting tired.
It is like midnight.
Yeah. And I have a few things I have to do. You gotta keep working.
Gotta do what you gotta do.
Okay. Thank you for watching, guys. Bye. Have a good night.